Have you ever laid down at night and felt that heavy silence? The kind where your mind finally whispers truths you've been avoiding all day? Between the ages of 20 and 55, those quiet moments before sleep are not just rest. They're your secret training ground. What you tell yourself each night has the power to shape your mindset, strengthen your spirit, and build the life you dream of. The Stoics knew that reflection before sleep was the sharpest weapon against weakness and distraction. Tonight, I want to share with you 10 powerful life lessons to remind yourself every single night. Lessons that will guide you to strength, clarity, and unstoppable focus. Stay with me till the end, because these aren't just words. They're the kind of reminders that can completely reshape how you live tomorrow. And before we dive in, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you never miss these daily doses of wisdom that will keep your mind unshakable. 1. I am responsible for my life. As you lie down at night, remind yourself of this unshakable truth. I am responsible for my life. Not my parents, not my boss, not society, not luck me. The Stoics taught that while we cannot control the world, we can always control our choices, our reactions, and our actions. Responsibility is power. When you take ownership, you stop waiting for life to get better and start creating the life you want. Think of Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the world, who still reminded himself daily that the throne was not an excuse to complain. He didn't blame Rome, his enemies, or fate. He reminded himself that the only thing that mattered was how he chose to act today. And that's the lesson for us too. It's easy to blame circumstances. I'm too tired. It's not fair. I don't have enough resources. But blaming robs you of energy. Every time you say, it's someone else's fault, you hand your power away. But when you say, I am responsible, you take that power back. Responsibility means freedom, because it means the outcome depends on you, not chance. So tonight, tell yourself, I am responsible for my life. If you're unhappy with your health, your habits, your relationships, your career, don't wait for someone to rescue you. Don't wait for perfect timing. You are responsible for what happens next. And that responsibility is the key that unlocks growth. This isn't a burden. It's liberation. Because when you accept full responsibility, you realize you already hold the power to change. And tomorrow morning, you'll rise with a sharper purpose. Because you know the only person standing in your way is the one looking back in the mirror. 2. My time is limited, and that makes it precious. Every night, before sleep, whisper this truth to yourself. My time is limited. At 20, it feels like you have forever. At 55, you know the years move faster than you imagined. The Stoics were obsessed with time, not because they feared it, but because they understood its value. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. That's the real tragedy. Not that life is short, but that we squander it on meaningless distractions, shallow arguments, and wasted hours." If you remind yourself each night that your time is running out, tomorrow becomes sharper, more alive. Think of your day like a bag of gold coins. Every morning, you're given a fresh handful. How did you spend today's coins? On things that brought you closer to your purpose, or on things that drained your spirit? Did you invest in your health, your relationships, your craft? Or did you hand those coins away to gossip, scrolling, and meaningless noise? The point isn't to live in fear of death. It's to live with urgency. Every night, remind yourself, if tomorrow doesn't come, would I be proud of how I spent today? If the answer is no, then tomorrow is your chance to correct it. Your time is your most valuable currency. Guard it fiercely. Spend it wisely. Don't waste it on things that won't matter 5 years from now. When you close your eyes tonight, remind yourself that every day gone is gone forever. And when you wake up tomorrow, treat every hour as if it were borrowed. because in truth, it is free. I will not be ruled by my emotions. The third lesson to tell yourself each night is this: I will not be ruled by my emotions. Emotions are natural. Anger, fear, sadness, joy. These are part of being human. The Stoics never told us to eliminate emotions, but they warned against being controlled by them. An angry man is not free. He is a slave to his rage. A fearful man is not free. He is chained by his own mind. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayal, war, and loss, yet he constantly reminded himself, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That is the heart of Stoicism. Control your response, and no storm can sink you. At night, look back on your day. Where did emotions control you? Did anger make you say things you regret? Did fear hold you back from acting? Did jealousy poison your peace? Acknowledge these moments honestly. Not to punish yourself, but to learn. Then remind yourself, tomorrow, I will be the master, not the slave. Imagine emotions as wild horses. Left unchecked, they drag you wherever they please. But if you learn to hold the reins, you can direct their energy toward purpose. Anger becomes fuel for discipline. Fear becomes awareness. Sadness becomes depth. Joy becomes gratitude. Controlled emotions are power. Uncontrolled emotions are chains. So every night, tell yourself, I felt, but I was not destroyed. I stumbled, but I learned. Tomorrow, I will rise stronger. That nightly reminder builds inner armor. And over time, you'll notice. For I cannot control the world, only myself. As you close your eyes tonight, remind yourself of this unshakable truth. I cannot control the world, only myself. Most of our stress, our anger, and our anxiety come from forgetting this lesson. We rage at things outside of our control. Traffic, the weather, other people's actions, the unfairness of life. But the Stoics remind us that such frustration is wasted energy. Epictetus was once a slave. He had no control over his circumstances, what he ate, where he lived, even whether he would be beaten. And yet, he discovered the greatest freedom, the freedom of the mind. He realized that while chains could bind his body, no one could chain his thoughts or his choices. That is the lesson we must carry. Tonight, reflect on the moments where you tried to control what you could not. Did you argue with someone, hoping to change their mind? Did you worry endlessly about outcomes you could not influence? Did you stress over the future instead of preparing for it? Acknowledge it, then let it go. The Stoics teach us to focus only on what lies within our power. Our thoughts, our actions, our responses. That is where mastery is found. When someone insults you, you can't control their words, but you can control whether you react with anger or remain calm. When life throws obstacles at you, you can't control fate, but you can control how you endure, adapt, and rise above. Repeat to yourself before sleep, the world is not mine to control, but myself is. That thought alone will release you from countless chains. You will stop fighting battles that were never yours to fight, and instead channel your strength where it truly matters, on shaping your character. And when you wake tomorrow, you will be lighter, freer, and stronger. 5. Gratitude is my wealth. Another lesson to whisper each night. Gratitude is my wealth. We live in a world that constantly tells us we don't have enough. More money, more possessions, more recognition, always more. But the Stoics flipped this thinking. They taught that true wealth is not measured by how much you have, but by how little you need. Seneca said, "It is not the man who is too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Think about that. A billionaire who feels he needs more is poorer than a man with simple food, a safe home, and peace in his heart. Gratitude transforms poverty into wealth instantly. So tonight, instead of lying in bed thinking about what you lack, think of what you already have. Your breath, your body, your bed, the people you love, the lessons you've learned. Every single one is a treasure. Gratitude doesn't mean you stop striving. It means you stop striving blindly. It means you build your future not from a place of desperation, but from a place of strength. You don't chase because you feel empty. You build because you feel full. Gratitude also calms the restless mind. How often do we stay awake at night worrying about what we don't yet have? But when you remind yourself of what is already yours, your heart becomes lighter, your mind quieter, and sleep comes easier. So make this a nightly ritual. Before your eyes close, list 3 things you are grateful for, even the smallest details. Over time, you'll see that life is already rich. And tomorrow, you'll rise not as someone in poverty, but as someone overflowing with quiet wealth. 6. Hardship is my teacher. The 6th lesson to tell yourself each night. Hardship is my teacher. Life will never be free of struggle, pain, loss, rejection, failure. These are part of the human condition. But the Stoics understood that hardship is not a curse. It is training. It is preparation. It is the very thing that forges strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, the obstacle is not blocking your path. It is the path. Every difficulty you face is sharpening you, carving you into someone stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Tonight, reflect on the challenges you face today. Maybe you were tested at work. Maybe someone let you down. Maybe you felt tired, stressed, or uncertain. Instead of resenting it, ask yourself, what did this teach me? How did this make me stronger? That shift in perspective transforms pain into progress. Think of a blacksmith forging a sword. The metal is useless until it is hammered, heated, and shaped through fire. Without pressure and heat, the blade remains weak. And so it is with us. Comfort softens us. Hardship sharpens us. When you remind yourself nightly that hardship is your teacher, you no longer see life's struggles as punishment. You see them as practice. Every setback is a lesson. Every wound is wisdom. Every scar is strength. So tell yourself tonight, whatever hurt me today is shaping me for tomorrow. And with that thought, you can rest in peace, knowing that even your pain has a purpose. Lesson 7. I will let go of what I cannot control. Before sleep, you should remind yourself of one of the most liberating truths. There are things within your power, and there are things beyond it. Yet most people spend their lives consumed by the second category. They worry about what others think of them, about whether life will be fair, about whether the world will bend to their wishes. The Stoics were clear. This is wasted energy. Imagine carrying 2 bags, one filled with rocks you cannot put down, and another with tools you can actually use. Most people pour all their attention into the rocks, complaining about how heavy they are, while ignoring the tools in their hands. Every night, when you remind yourself, I will let go of what I cannot control, you're dropping that bag of rocks. You're refusing to waste emotional energy on the storms you cannot stop, the opinions you cannot change, the random events that unfold without your permission. Instead, you're training your mind to focus on the tools, the effort you give, the choices you make, the character you build. This lesson prepares you for tomorrow with calmness. You will no longer wake with the heaviness of yesterday's frustrations. You will wake with clarity, free to focus only on what actually moves your life forward. Peace begins the moment you stop fighting battles you cannot win, and strength grows the moment you channel that energy into the things you can shape. Lesson 8. I will live as if time is precious. When you lie in bed at night, think of this. How many hours today slipped away into distractions, scrolling, gossip, or meaningless tasks? Time is the most valuable currency you will ever own, and yet it is the one most often wasted. The Stoics constantly reminded themselves of memento mori, that death is always near, and life is always fragile. This isn't meant to scare you, but to wake you up. Each night whisper, "I will live as if time is precious." This thought is a compass. It pushes you to filter out what doesn't matter, to silence the noise, and to give yourself fully to the things that do love, growth, contribution, and presence. It reminds you not to argue endlessly, not to dwell on trivial insults, not to postpone your dreams until someday, because someday may never come. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. When you sleep with this lesson in your heart, you awaken with urgency, not the kind that rushes you into stress, but the kind that makes every moment meaningful. You'll hug your loved ones tighter. You'll work on your goals with discipline, and you'll savor small joys without guilt. Those who treat time as infinite waste their lives. Those who treat time as precious live fully even if their years are few. Tonight, promise yourself you will be among the second group. Lesson 9. I will be grateful, even in struggle. Gratitude is not just for sunny days. The deepest gratitude comes when life feels heavy, when things break, when you face resistance. Because hidden inside every struggle is a lesson, a seed of strength, a chance to grow. The Stoics taught that obstacles are not enemies. They are allies in disguise. When you remind yourself each night, "I am grateful, even in struggle," you are reshaping how your brain interprets difficulty. Instead of tossing and turning with regret or anger, you anchor yourself in growth. You realize that hardships you face today sharpened your discipline, tested your patience, and revealed what you value most. Think back to every trial you've endured, the heartbreak, the failures, the betrayals. At the time, they felt unbearable. Yet looking back, those moments built you. They gave you resilience others envy. Gratitude in struggle transforms pain into power. It teaches you to see possibilities where others see dead ends. Over time, this mindset creates a shield of optimism that cannot be pierced. Tomorrow, when the world tests you again, and it will, you'll rise above it. You'll smile at the challenge, knowing that even the worst day carries within it a hidden gift. Lesson 10. I will wake tomorrow with a warrior spirit. The last thought you plant in your mind before sleep shapes how you rise tomorrow. Too many people drift into the night thinking about stress, failures, or fears, and then they wonder why they wake with heaviness. The Stoics approached each new day as if it were a battlefield, not in the sense of violence, but in the sense of courage, discipline, and readiness. When you tell yourself before sleep, "I will wake tomorrow with a warrior spirit," you are programming your subconscious to meet the day with determination instead of dread. A warrior does not avoid challenges. He welcomes them as the path to strength. A warrior does not collapse under discomfort. He sees it as training. This mindset flips your mornings from sluggish avoidance to unstoppable momentum. You are no longer a prisoner dragged into another day, but a fighter stepping onto the field with purpose. Tomorrow, you won't ask for ease. You'll ask for strength. You won't hope for luck. You'll prepare for battle. And the battle is not with the world. It is with yourself. Your laziness, your fear, your doubt. With a warrior spirit, you rise determined to win that fight. Every night you affirm this, you sharpen your blade. Every morning, you march into life stronger, disciplined, and unshakable.